My name is Jackie Bennett. I'm an assessor for Liberty. I'm at Talk today, which is the 20th of January 2014, with Neron Turner Power. We are going to do a guided discussion, professional discussion on Unit 326, which is using collaborative technology. So, Neron, can you just confirm who you are for the recording?
Neron Turner Power, working at Talk.
Okay, brilliant. So, for 1.1, Neron, can you explain what and why guidelines need to be established for working with collaborative technology?
Okay, so guidelines need to be established working with collaborative technologies to be able to tell the users or viewers how to use the collaborative technology correctly and efficiently, and it needs to be able to meet you need to be able to use the guidelines to meet what the organisation needs you to do, basically.
Okay. And for 1.2, can you tell me how you developed and implemented guidelines for good practice in working with collaborative technology?
I developed and implemented good guidelines for good practice when working with Google Docs. So when we was working with Google Docs, me and my team, I put together some guidelines in which told my team how to use the collaborative technology, which is Google Docs, to transfer documents securely and safely, basically, because the documents were confidential and needed to be kept private. So in my guidelines, I told them that when transferring these documents, save them with the appropriate name and make sure they're saved into a private space where only you can access these documents.
Okay. So for 1.3, can you tell me how can you explain to me how to establish an identity or present information that will promote trust?
So basically, we set up guidelines for specific actors.
Right. So a way that
Bidding, for example.
is this 1.4?
This is 1.3.
1.3. Explain
Yeah.
how to establish. Okay, so a way that we presented information that promoted, I presented information that promoted trust was, again, when using Google Docs, there's a verification process that takes place when you put a document on private. And when you put this document on private, you have to, whoever's you're trying to give access to the document, they have to apply for access by putting in their email address. I will then get notified, and unless I approve their email, they will not be able to see this document. When they do see the document, that promotes trust. That shows them that I am trusting them with this document and with the contents of this document. And it's only coming from me because I am the owner of the Google Doc.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so for 1.4, can you tell me how you developed and implemented guidelines for checking the authenticity of identity and different types of information?
Okay, way I developed and implement guidelines for checking the authenticity. Okay, the way I done this was when working with Twitter competitions. So what our process is that the guideline is that when you have these winners, you have to you ask them for their email address, and in reply to that email, that message, you will give them a password. And then once you've emailed them via your email to verify their delivery address, you ask them to also give the password that was given to them on the social media channel. This way you can check the authenticity of that person, of their identity, because they could have gave someone else's email address and the prize could be delivered to someone else. But by giving this password and them replying in the email the password, this shows that that is them, that's their identity.
Okay. Alright, so for 1.5, can you tell me how you analysed and planned for risks in using collaborative technology for different tasks?
Okay, so ways I analyze and plan for risks. So what I'll do is I'll look at the risks that could take place on the collaborative technologies on the day, whether that be internet, the lack of internet access, or mics not working, headphones not working, or whatnot. I'll look at all the risks that could take place, and then I'll make a contingency plan. And a contingency plan allows me to put in place plan Bs for all of these risks. So, if, for instance, if the internet wasn't working on someone's computer, in my contingency plan I would then say contact a technician to bring another laptop down that will allow internet access, something like that basically.
And what about, you talked about identity, right, and information. What do you think are the risks in terms of, once you've had a look at those things and you've analysed it, in terms of your plan, how would you deal with that specific issue?
What do you mean?
Okay, so you've got here, you know where you establish the identity of somebody and the information of somebody. In terms of a risk, in terms of people using collaborative technology, what other risks do you think there might be, especially in terms of like identity and presenting information?
A risk might be that you give access to someone that is not the person you intend it to be, and in that case you would need to just verify with that person that you are in the conversation, you are in the collaborative doc, and if they're not and it's showing up as someone else, then you would know to delete that person and add the person that's not in.
Okay, so you're saying that basically that you need to, what was your contingency plan for that then?
So the contingency plan was to again identify that this is the person that's meant to be in the collaborative document.
Okay, brilliant. So for 1.6, can you tell me, oh sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for 1.6, can you tell me how you analysed and managed risks in using collaborative technology?
Analyze and manage risks. I would say analyze and manage risks. Okay, so a way that I manage the risks is that, okay, so with the identity one that we just previously talked about, a way that I can manage that risk is by like raising the privacy levels within the settings of the collaborative document. So this will, by raising the privacy level, this makes it harder for people who have not been granted access to be able to come into the collaborative doc. And this way it makes it easier for the people who are meant to be given access to the doc to be involved in the document.
Okay, so how would you analyse that before you manage the risk? So how would you look at that? How would you look at it so that you could actually manage that risk? So what things do you think you could look at?
I'll just look at previous examples of it being done basically. So when it's been done in the past, I'll look at what has gone wrong and what has gone right. Then I can apply that to this time around basically, and be able to know that last time, okay, someone's passwords were quite short or something to be able to access the document. This time, let's make the passwords so many characters long with different cases or whatnot to be able to allow the people who have granted access to come into the document.
Brilliant. Okay, so for 2.1, can you explain the features, benefits and limitations of different collaborative technology, tools and devices for work purposes and tasks?
Okay, so I've got these ones written down because it's quite a lot. So I've got, for Google Documents, we have the features will be like, you can import a Word document that you've created on your computer into documents and still edit it.
Okay.
The benefit is that you can edit it with the same format and nothing will change, and you can still edit it whilst you're offline. And limitation is that like old versions of Word may not be supported with Google Documents, so you may not be able to edit those files because the version of Microsoft Word that you're using is so old that it's not compatible with the up-to-date online Google document. Another feature would be that collaborating online in real time.
Okay.
So it could be me and Jackie in one document, and we're both editing the document at the same time, and you can see her text going along and my text going along. A benefit in this is that you can Google Docs gives you the feature that you can instant chat whilst you're collaborating on the doc. So you can discuss plans to how you're going to format this page and then actually go and do it together. Limitation in that is it only allows up to 12 people to collaborate on one document. So if you had a team of 20 people and they all needed to import information into one document, it would be quite hard to, and it could waste time. So working with Google Hangouts, a feature would be that Google Hangouts works within Gmail itself. So when you're accessing your emails, alongside your emails, you can use Google Hangouts. A benefit in this is that it's easy to send messages whilst you're in eye contact with other people around the world or whatnot. And a limitation in this is that Google Hangout is not, like a lot of people use Microsoft Outlook or Hotmail, and a limitation is that Google Hangouts is not integrated within Microsoft Office and Microsoft Outlook, so a lot of their target audience is in Microsoft Outlook, but they can't use Google Hangouts, so that is a limitation.
Okay, brilliant.
That's it?
Okay, so for 2.2, can you determine the IT tools and process needed for archiving the outcomes of collaborative working?
Okay, yes, so IT tools. So IT tools. So something like an instant messenger that we use within the business called Links is Microsoft software, and it allows you to do web conferencing, instant messaging with people within the business. So you can access the directory and be able to contact anyone within the business just by their last name. Processes in detail. So when in an instant messaging call, conference or video conference, a way in archiving this